Toronto, stay tuned right here with Toronto Mike, and it goes a little something like this. Hit it!
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto Mike, we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love. I'm in Toronto.
Welcome to episode 1777. Seven's a lucky number, right? This is 1777 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Blue Sky Agency, the official distributor of Silen's quiet, comfortable, and customizable office pods. Create sanctuary within your workspace. Nick Ienes, the host of Building Toronto Skyline and Building Success, two podcasts you ought to listen to. RecycleMyElectronics.ca, committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Today, making her Toronto Mike debut, it's Hayden Ryann. Welcome to Toronto Mike, Hayden.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Ryan, you got two N's at the end of Ryan.
I do.
Okay, who's responsible? Is that a typo? What's going on there? I've never seen Ryan with the two N's.
No, I think someone already has that name. When I picked out Hayden
so
Ryann.
You added the N.
Yeah, I added the N.
Oh, okay.
I thought it would also make it look a little cooler, a little more edgy.
You know what? Everything is about search engine optimization. Like when people search your name, they have to find you. So you need to have, it's like, remember, well, of course, Lincoln Park. It's Lincoln, but they decided they'd change the name so they could be found quickly and be very unique. Exactly. And that's what the extra N does for your surname.
Yes, that was the plan.
Well, it worked on me, okay? Although, I'm Gen Xer. When I think of Hayden, though, I'm thinking of Hayden Desser, who gave me this hat you can see in the studio that says things are as bad as they seem.
It's a sick hat.
So you'll need to use Ryan to differ so we don't get confused.
Yes, absolutely.
What a pleasure it is to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you for having me.
You're a Toronto girl.
I am, yes.
So what part of this big bad city do you hail from?
I'm from the beaches.
Okay, and you're not going to say the beach, right? You're not going to be pretentious. You're okay with the beaches.
Yes, the beaches.
Okay, where are we at with that? Did we ever get a determination? Like, have they determined? Is it the beach? Is it the beaches?
I think it's the beaches, but all my friends and stuff like that, they're always like, it's the beach or Scarborough. And I'm like, no, it's the beaches.
It's the beaches.
The beaches,
I'm with you.
Right?
Okay, I'm with you. And there's a great band called The Beaches as well.
Exactly. They're one of my favorite bands. So, yeah.
Well, maybe one day you'll join them on stage.
Oh, that would be a dream.
Well, let's make that dream a reality here. Speaking of dreams that are becoming a reality, are you at all a Blue Jays fan?
I am. To be honest, though, I'm going to be very honest. I don't watch baseball. I like the Blue Jays.
It doesn't sound like you like them very much.
Well, going to games is fun for maybe the 2 times that I've gone. And... Hey. The beer and the hot dogs is great.
Right.
But I'm not a big baseball fan.
So not even if it's high stakes playoff baseball, that doesn't even draw you in?
I hate to say it.
Because do you know what's happening? Are you aware that yesterday the Blue Jays eliminated the Yankees in the ALDS and are on their way to the ALCS?
I'm aware of when they win and stuff like that through Instagram or hearing it from friends, but right, I don't watch it myself.
Okay, so I'm going to actually start us off. I'm going to play a little clip from the celebrations because I'd like to ask you as a woman for your thoughts on a couple of things that were uttered on Sportsnet last night. And we're going to start with that. Actually, let's do it right off the top. Okay, so I'm going to actually play a clip from the celebrations yesterday. Then I'm going to read a comment from FOTM Terry Hart. And then we're going to get your take. And I think it's going to segue nice into one of your singles where when I listened to the single, I thought I need to have this young woman on the program here. So let's listen to this.
Every single one of you fucking bullpen game, Nathan Lucas, Miles Straw, all you motherfuckers, it takes everybody every day. Start spreading the news, bitches.
All right, that's the manager, John Schneider. So that's a pretty happy man celebrating yesterday the big win over the Yankees. We beat them in 4 games in a best of 5. So I'm going to read the Terry Hart comment, and then I'm going to ask for your take on this, okay?
Absolutely.
Terry Hart, who is probably best known from her time at Breakfast Television, and she did work with the Movie Network, and listeners of this program know Terry. She's lovely, but Terry Hart writes, I'm glad the Blue Jays won, but your dad's in the room, so I have to swear, Dad, okay? Motherfuckers and you bitches is horribly misogynist language, and it's not okay. So, like, I heard the celebration last night, and I was kind of pumped up. Like, we beat the damn Yankees. I hate that team. I felt pretty good. And John Schneider let a lot of emotion out. And then Terry Hart put this comment on, and I realized I have a woman coming over, and I'm going to play her single, No Room for Bitchin', okay? So, as a woman, as a human being, I'm curious. This is kind of like misogynist language that we it's casual misogyny that we almost don't even recognize for what the root of these words are. But I suppose, upon further review, thanks to Terry Hart, that motherfuckers and bitches are rooted in misogyny. Like, what say you, Hayden Ryann?
To be honest, like, I feel if you own what you're maybe being called or something where it's like motherfuckers, sorry, Dad, or bitches.
Dad, can she swear? We're going to get blessing. Dad says you can swear.
Dad says I can swear. You know, I got a cool dad. I think for me personally, if you own it and if you take it in a way where it's more badass, then like...
So even if they're dudes, though, because these are men using these terms, right?
Yes, I think if they're... It's difficult because you don't want to be put in a situation where you feel like maybe you're offending people.
Like a gender? Only because I will admit, like, I feel like I don't want to do any... Even this term I'm about to use might be rooted in misogyny. Like pearl clutching, right? You've heard this, clutching your pearls. Like, I was not offended by this language, but I don't really stop to think down on, like, what do these terms mean, motherfucker and bitches, right? Like, we sort of use them so casually now. But Terry Hart just got me thinking, and then I thought maybe I'll bounce it off you because you used the word bitch.
Yes.
Okay, so, but it sounds different to me when you, a woman, use the word bitch than if, a bunch of guys playing a sporting event, guys on guys, and it's all men. It's a sausage fest there. And then they're dropping it. I just wondered if it would hit differently coming from these men.
Well, to be honest, like, when you put it that way, it absolutely can, right? Because I think when a woman calls herself a bitch or calls other women, like, a bitch or something like that, right. I think we take it a little bit, like, less at heart. But when, like...
Pun intended, because it's Terry Hart who wrote that.
Exactly.
But what are you doing here?
But when it's like a group of men, I think it may be a little bit... like not needed, but at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people sometimes do get quite emotional over certain things.
Well, it's passion spilling over.
Yes.
But it is interesting maybe to think about like these terms we yell out in anger and maybe like what do they mean or whatever. Because you can just say, fuck yeah, we kick some Yankees ass.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
You get your swears in, you're passionate, but you don't have to evoke that kind of language. So do you mind if we roll right into one of your songs and then we'll talk about, your lengthy career? Are you even old enough to consume the Great Lakes beer in front of you?
I am 21.
Okay, you know what? I have a 21-year-old daughter too.
Oh yeah?
So yeah, and
we should be friends.
I need to. Well, she's currently in Montreal because she's going to McGill, but
amazing.
She's coming back for the Thanksgiving. So I think she's back. Tomorrow. She's taking a train in from Montreal tomorrow, and I think she'll be here for about a week. They got like a reading week or something like that. So let's get to No Room for Bitchin', and then we'll talk about the song. Mm-hmm. And then if you don't mind, I'm going to find out more about your lengthy career at 21 years old and how you got here and what's next and all that. So here we go.
To let him go. He didn't like the and do as I was told. So I told him off, it's what I do best. 'Cause I'd rather go to hell than change for a man. So you don't like me, when did I ask? Don't get caught up on me, 'cause I ain't gonna do it back. Say what you want, go on, I'm not listening. 'Cause I'm a hell of a girl in a hell of a world that's got no room for bitching.
All right, Hayden. Tell us what inspired this song. What is No Room for Bitchin' about?
Okay, so when I was about, I want to say 14, 15 years old, I actually wrote a song called I'm a Bitch. And I took it in a more positive way. But the song never ended up getting released. And a few months ago, I was sitting in my basement, which is where I normally write all my music, and I have my studio down there. And I was kind of just looking back at the past few years growing up and being in high school and university and realizing that I've been a people pleaser and I've taken a lot of crap from, you know, certain people that like I felt like I didn't really deserve and need to go through. And so I kind of was a little down and wanted to write a song that empowered me, not realizing then that I would take this song that would then maybe hopefully empower other people. And that's kind of how No Room for like bitching came along, because I was like, oh, bitch is one of my favorite words. It is my favorite word. And so I didn't want to write or rewrite I'm a Bitch. So I was like, screw it. You know what? I've grown. It's been many years. I'm going to turn it in from I'm a Bitch to No Room for Bitchin'.
No Room for I knew I had the right person to ask about the John Schneider, you bitches comment. I had the right person in the room here. So I've now heard the song several times and I'm digging it. So when exactly was this song released?
This song was released September 26th.
Oh, it's fresh.
Yes.
It's fresh. And what's the response been like so far? You're a couple weeks deep into No Room for Bitchin'.
You know what? It's been great. All my friends and family love it. And it's been getting some traction with some like articles, and it's been in like a few magazine articles and stuff like that. And I feel like I've just been getting positive response like towards it.
There's a bit of a girl power vibe going on there. Yeah. More like you're not putting up with this shit anymore.
No, because why? Why would you?
Well, that's a great question. Why would you? Well, now there's like an anthem. You can
Zero room for bitchin'.
No room for bitchin'. Okay, you mentioned you wrote a song called I'm a Bitch.
I did, yeah.
Okay. Please tell me if this is correct. You've written over 100 original songs.
Yeah, probably.
So I see you brought a notebook with you. Like,
yes.
Are there do you write, do you get inspired anywhere and you just take a note?
I do.
Can I read that notebook or no?
No, this isn't my song notebook, actually. This is just my, for today, because I was a little nervous.
Are you nervous to be on Toronto Mic'd? Because I would love somebody to finally be nervous to be on Toronto Mic'd.
Well, I mean, this is my first ever interview podcast. I've never done this before. This is the first.
I don't know this. I'm learning now. Okay, so you're making your debut.
Yes, this is my debut.
And out of the gates, I had to hit you with the tough misogynist language during the I thought you were a seasoned pro. I said, let me hit her with this one. Yeah. That's baptism by fire right there.
Well, hopefully I gave a good answer.
Well, it's the fact that we're even talking about it, I think, is a step in the right direction, instead of just accepting it for a bunch of bros drinking. They're not drinking, by the way. I noticed no Great Lakes beer in the dressing room at Yankee Stadium yesterday. But I just want you to know I am sending you home with some fresh craft beer from Great Lakes Beer. Don't let your dad drink it all.
No, my dad won't drink any of it. I'm a beer girl, so this is right up my alley.
Well, this is hyper local, man. That they brew that in South Etobicoke.
I love this. This is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So you chose the right place to make your broadcasting debut, because the other places don't give you anything.
Yeah, no. Well, not that I've been to other places,
but you'll find out.
I'll find out, and then I'm going to tell them that I came here and I got beer.
Okay, so on the heels of that, I'm going to tell you. You can share this one with your dad, okay? Mm-hmm. I have a large frozen lasagna in my freezer upstairs that is for you, courtesy of Palma Pasta. So you're actually, like, I'm telling you now, when you eventually get on CBC or whatever, that'll happen soon, you're going to be like, oh, that was fun, but they gave me nothing. Like, they won't give you anything to go on CBC, but you're going to leave here with this lasagna. And then one last invitation before we move on here. I have an event in Mississauga. Do you ever get out to Mississauga, or is that too far west for you?
No, I've been to Mississauga a few times.
Been to Mississauga. Okay, because Palma's Kitchen is in Mississauga. And on November 29, which is the last Saturday of the month at noon, I'm recording live from Palma's Kitchen. And you could pop on the mic, and you have two options here. One is you could sing a little something for us, or you could just wish everybody happy holidays.
Oh my God, I would love that. That's
and
so fun.
because you can bring anyone, friends, family, whatever, and everybody who shows up is going to get fed by Palma Pasta, delicious Italian food, and I'm going to bring cold Great Lakes for you to drink.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
Just don't get used to this. I'm worried, Hayden. You're going to think all podcasts and all radio shows are like this, and I just want you to know they're not like this. Okay?
No, because this one's special. This one's the best one, right?
Right. So you're very young to have written 100 original songs, over 100 original songs. So when did you start writing songs? Like, I'm just curious, what age are you when you realize I can write a song?
I probably started writing music when I was around 8, 9 years old, which, you know, is pretty young. But to me, young. Yeah, but to me, it was more like my way of communication and my way of like telling people how I felt like when it came to certain things. And I probably wrote like 8 to 10 songs a day growing up as a kid. It's all I did. I used to, in high school, my teachers used to give me a pass because if I was in the middle of a test or in class or something and I had an idea for a song, they would allow me to go sit in the hallway and write.
And just so I understand, I'm not a songwriter, okay? I can barely press play on this CD player over here. But like, you're writing lyrics and music.
For the most part, for a lot of years, it was just music because I couldn't play an instrument. And then I believe I was like 15.
Oh, just lyrics, you mean?
Yeah, just lyrics.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. And then when I was around 15, I started learning guitar. And then it became guitar and lyrics.
And when does the basement studio show up?
The basement studio, oh gosh, like COVID?
It's a COVID thing.
It's a COVID thing. Because, you know, you couldn't really.
Is it as nice as this beautiful studio? I look around, I'm like, oh God, yours is probably much nicer than this one.
Well, you know what? I'm so grateful for my parents because anytime I need something, they are the first ones to be like, okay, we got this. Like, here you go. But, you know, it's not just them giving me things for free. You know, I got to show that I can put some use to it. And when like COVID hit, I believe it was my 16th birthday. And they got me like a bunch of speakers and like a whole little setup. And it's awesome. But the problem is I don't really know how to produce music. I've tried to do the whole Pro Logic, learning, tutoring, all that stuff. So It kind of just sits there unless I'm recording with other people. So...
But you can do like an acoustic jam. You got your guitar and you got your voice.
Yes.
And you can record something. And then when it's ready, like, I guess I'm curious on, so you're 8 and 9 years old, you're writing songs, and then at 15, you're introducing the music. And then shortly thereafter, there's a studio in the basement. But I was, in addition to reading that you wrote over 100 songs, that's over 100 songs more than I've ever written, okay? Although I did write a rap song once, but I'm not going to, don't ask me to rap it, okay? No, not if your dad here, I'm too embarrassed, okay? But I was reading you've recorded in Nashville, Toronto, and Montreal.
I have, yes.
So is it you kind of cook the songs up in your basement and then you bring it to a producer?
Well, so when I recorded in Nashville, that was the first time I actually ever recorded or was really like in a studio. I was 14, 15 years old, I want to say. And basically I worked with a man named Louis who I got introduced to by a guy that was managing me at the time. And we used to songwrite together because I didn't know a lot about songwriting and I was, you know, younger. And me and him would literally sit down for hours in the summer and just write and write and write. And we got the opportunity to go down to Nashville and we did 3 songs in 3 hours, which was insane.
What are the names of these 3 songs?
Okay, it was Relapse, I believe, or no, If I Get High. Oh God.
Have you ever been high?
No comment, you know?
You're pleading the fifth.
I'm pleading the fifth on that one.
That's fair.
But it was Bitter, If I Get High, and Space.
I heard a whisper in the room.
Yeah, my dad had to help me
Is
out
he your
there.
official biographer?
You know, this man is on top of everything. He knows everything. So,
Who paid for this trip to Nashville? Like, is this your parents again?
oh yes, my parents.
You're a very lucky woman.
You know what? I'm very, very lucky, but my parents wouldn't pay for things if I didn't show them, you know, that I was actually working for it. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to guess, I don't have your dad on a mic right now, but I'm going to guess like if you sucked, they wouldn't be taking you to Nashville. Like you were, yeah, you're writing songs, you love music, but you're also very good.
I mean, I'm humble. You know what I mean? Like I get a little nervous because it's like, yeah, no, like my parents wouldn't put in half the money or the effort or the time into doing this if they didn't believe in me.
They're nurturing your gift.
Yes.
It's like if your kid was really good at soccer or something, you'd pay for them to go to like a development year-round thing or whatever to nurture their talents.
And my parents have paid for
I'm doing that now for my 11-year-old, the soccer thing. So I'm trying to, I'm doing that now for my 11-year-old because he's gifted there. But where did you record No Room for Bitchin'?
No Room for Bitchin' was actually in my basement. So all the songs...
That came together in your basement?
Yes,
I feel like playing it again now. It sounded really pro. Like.
Oh, no. It was just in my basement. All my songs, Mindless Words, which was my first single, that came out earlier in the summer, No Room for Bitching, and then all the rest of the songs that are going to be on my album are all just in my basement.
When is this album dropping?
It's like spring.
Okay, so we just heard No Room for Bitchin'. That's the latest single.
Yes.
There is a single, I've got it loaded up, so I'm going to play it in a moment, but there's a single called Mindless Words. Where was that recorded?
That was also recorded in my basement.
So why not? Okay, so what are we doing in Nashville? Like, you're producing great music in the basement.
Yeah, well, so...
We don't need Nashville anymore.
No, like, to be honest, I take it as one of the coolest experiences I've had.
Sure. It's the home of country music.
Oh, and we did it at Ocean Way Studios, which is insane. And I had such an incredible time getting to experience that. And then I've also recorded a bunch in Montreal, but it gets to the point where, one, it's extremely expensive, especially when you are a new artist and you're just trying to build a platform.
Right.
And I've met people that I trust very well and that I feel understand me and my music. And, just doing it in your basement, you can make music anywhere and you can make music on anything. It doesn't have to be this luxury, and this super expensive kind of thing.
Well, I'm about to play Mindless Words, and I want the listenership to keep in mind, recorded in the beaches in a basement studio.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me. But one of my big questions is when I'm listening to these two singles here, you're a Toronto girl. Where does the love of country come from? Like you mentioned, Nashville, that's where the country musicians go, right? And these songs, to me, that song I just played, No Room for Bitchin' particularly, sounds like a country song. Like, where did the love of country come from?
Oh, I've loved country forever.
Which isn't that long, really.
Which is not that long. But I was a huge Shania Twain and like Miranda Lambert fan growing up, like as a kid. And, I don't know. I feel like country music, I was a fan when I was a kid, and then I kind of went more like pop and rock. And then I got really back into it when I actually went to university because...
Which university?
I went to Western.
Okay,
University,
it's a party university.
Oh, yes. And everyone was really, really into country music there. And it got me right back into it. And I was kind of like, you know what? It would kind of be fun if, being from the city to do something kind of country.
Well, that's why I was so surprised, because there's not a lot of country stars coming out of Toronto. Now, there's country rock. I'm thinking now of like Blue Rodeo, right? Like Blue Rodeo is a Queen Street Toronto band, and they have a country slant to them, no doubt about it. But pure country doesn't typically come out of the big city.
No, it doesn't. And you know what? The thing with the country community in Toronto is there's not a lot of us, but so we're very, very tight knit, and it's like a little family, which is so great.
Who else is in this community?
There's people like Jade Hilton. There's people...
Taking notes over here myself. I need one of those nice notebooks you got here.
Josh Vincent, Haley McNeil. Like these are people that I find extremely talented, and I'm very lucky to know them.
Okay, I'm going to play a
clip
of somebody, a real short one.
Hey, y'all, it's Samantha Martin, and you're listening to Toronto Mic'd.
Is she at all in this community, Samantha Martin?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, I'm just collecting them all here. Okay, so I'm going to play Mindless Words. I just remembered when I brought up your song, I'm a Bitch.
Yeah.
Big hit in the 90s for Meredith Brooks was titled I'm a Bitch.
Oh, yeah?
Or maybe it was just called Bitch. Okay, so it was called Bitch, and it went, I'm a bitch.
Yes. Okay. I know exactly what song you're talking
Meredith
about.
Brooks.
You know, the thing is whether it was called Bitch or I'm a Bitch, I feel like any song that has the word bitch in it is like kind of iconic in itself.
I feel like there's one by Carol Pope. Do you know Carol Pope? She's a local, she's a legend.
Yeah, no.
She's an absolute legend here. Your dad knows Carol Pope. Okay, so I'm going to play some Mindless Words, and then I have a lot of more annoying questions for you here.
Go for it.
Let's listen. Recorded in the basement, in the beaches.
Yeah. Woo!
And that's you you're playing this. Is that you playing?
Oh, absolutely not.
I wouldn't
Okay,
lie,
to be discussed.
been on my mind.
I know that voice, though.
It's not something that I hate admitting. I guess some could say that I've been blind. They don't know the things that you were given. How can I let go when I've been wandering this road? You could take me home and I wouldn't fight it. You could kiss me and I wouldn't pull away. You could tell me that you've changed and I would listen. Mindless words aren't so mindless when they come from you. I won't lie, you've got a hold on me.
I like it very much.
Thank you.
And it's different than No Room for Bitchin'. Like it's a whole different vibe.
A completely different vibe. Honestly, all the songs that, you know, hopefully you'll listen to very soon when the album comes out, they're all so different.
Like, do you hear from fans like that prefer the Mindless Words style, or some fans that prefer the No Room for Bitchin' style?
I feel like I haven't really it because they're so different. You know, I feel like it just depends on like a mood and stuff. And I feel like when I get responses from people, you know, whether it's like they prefer this or that, I think it's more just like a certain like, you know, what you're going through.
This song's less country.
Yes.
It's got that kind of poppy, almost like a little Rihanna type kind of this whole, there's a whole, yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of funky.
So when you're making this in the basement, I'm curious about the details here. Like, so who's playing what? Who's making it sound? You have a producer involved? Like,
so this is really cool actually. So I work with two boys who are brothers who are also artists, and we've gotten super close. I feel like they really understand, like, I don't have a music background, like theory-wise or anything. So when I'm trying to tell them what I want, I don't do a very good job at it, but they seem to get me, and they can play any instrument. They're super talented, and so they're the ones actually playing on my tracks. I have the chords and initially, you know, come to them with the guitar and everything, but then they play it because I don't want to mess up and I want it to be perfect. And so we record together and we hang out, and it's a great time in the basement. And yeah.
Okay, so they're playing on that. They're producing it too?
They do, yes.
Right. And you're kind of trying to explain what you're looking for, and then you're singing your heart out.
Yeah. Like I can picture exactly what I want the song to sound like and how I want it to go in my head before the song's even before I'm even done writing it. And so when it comes to recording, I know exactly what I'm looking for and exactly what I want. And even though I don't do a very good job at explaining that in like music terms, they immediately can pick it up and can tell by like my facial reaction if I'm giving them a smile or if I'm giving them like a face of disgust.
Well, it's interesting. Like it's you have this gift that you can hear it in your head, and then you just need to communicate it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a process trying to get it from
But is
my
it
brain
fully,
to my
like, I
mouth,
guess I'm
but-
curious in the process, like obviously you're writing the notebook and everything, but at what point is it fully formed in your head where you can close your eyes and hear the song before it's actually produced?
You know what's kind of crazy? I can picture a song in my head exactly how I want it to sound before I even write the song. I can picture a song in my head and immediately figure out what vibe I'm looking for as far to like how visually I want it to look once the song's done and everything. And from there, I'll just write. And by the time it comes to recording, immediately I'm like, okay, this is exactly how I have
That's
it mapped
amazing.
out.
I'm blown away by this. So was this the case at 8 and 9 years old?
Yeah, this was the case like for a long time
No wonder
because
they're going to Nashville. They got a little Taylor Swift in the beaches. They're like, let's go. Let's nurture this.
oh god, that would be awesome. But no, it's been like that forever, to be honest. I've always, because I didn't start with playing an instrument. I didn't start with like knowing what melodies were and all this stuff. So whenever I pictured it in my head, immediately from there, like I knew exactly what I wanted. And that's how I wrote my music.
And how do you decide what songs will appear on this debut album?
Honestly, the songs that I've picked, I feel the storyline of what the album's about and how the songs blend into each other, I think just fits so well and kind of, shows growth in such a beautiful way. And that's kind of how I knew like the certain order, what songs I wanted to be on there.
Okay, Jake, do you say to your dad, which is your favorite, 10 songs or whatever? Like, does your dad get a vote on what he likes best?
No. My parents are...
That's a hard no.
This is the thing. They love my music and they've always been very honest. Sometimes I'll write something and be like, guys, I want to show you. And they're like, oh my God, it's amazing. And then sometimes I show them music and they're like, that is terrible.
Oh, terrible.
Like, dear God. And I'm grateful for that because it comes to a point where I don't really let other people's opinions influence me, but to some things, it's, also good to get other people's opinion.
It's always good to get feedback, but I've heard so many stories from rock and roll bands where they'll have somebody will bring a song into the room for a band, for example. Right?
Yeah.
I know you're a solo artist, but then some key member of the band will say, oh, that's terrible. We're not recording that. And then somebody, usually the songwriter, will argue long enough to say, let's record it and see how it goes. Yeah. And inevitably, that becomes the band's biggest hit. And then somebody's like, oh, I was wrong.
No, absolutely. And I think for me personally, there's been times where, like, there's one song that's going to be on this album that I wrote when I was very young. And it's a great song, if I'm going to be a little biased here. But when I initially recorded it, I immediately hated the song. I lost all love for it. Oh. And after like all these years, I was like, no, I went back and I was like, this is a song that I truly love the songwriting and everything, but I hated the way it was recorded. And I want to redo it and see if we can, make it come back to life. And it's now become one of my favorite songs that is going to be on the album.
Okay, give me the name of that so when it comes out and I hear it, I can remember this story.
It's called Relapse.
Okay, that's Relapse. You recorded that in Nashville because I'm taking notes over here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you write these lyrics, how much of it is autobiographical and how much is just simply like fiction that you're creatively coming up with?
You mean like what's...
Like all this stuff. So relapse,
and,
relapse, typically that means somebody is like on the wagon and they fall off the wagon.
Which is not the case because I was probably around like 12, 13 years old when I wrote that song. And I immediately told my parents, like, guys, it's not about drugs. I promise. Right. That it's a song about love. It's a song about liking someone and falling in love with them, and they are absolutely terrible for you, and you got to get away.
And you're writing that at that young an age. You have that perspective at such a young age.
Well, you know what? Like it came from, I wrote it about a boy that I was like madly just had the biggest crush on for years growing up as kids, and he was so terrible to me. He was not nice. It was like, picking on a kid in the sand pit in the playground.
Right.
And I don't know. I kind of just took it like from there and was like, I'm going to write a song about this boy. And I love it.
Well, that means now I have to ask you, No Room for Bitchin'. Is that about a particular boy?
I think, you know what? Okay. It's about
Pretend that's not here. Let's go.
It's about every boy that I've either like dated or had some stupid situationship with. It's just for all men that have been in my life.
Okay, what's wrong? This is I had a woman over here very recently named Bree Taylor is her name.
Okay.
And she's a lot older than you, but most musicians are. And she writes about all the bad boys in her life. Like it's just one after another. It's like, where have all the good people gone? Shout out to Sam Roberts.
Yeah, you know what? Like, there's a lot of great guys in my life. Like,
but you can't write about them because that's boring, right?
I've written so many songs about like heartbreak, obviously, and guys, because I'm 21 and that's what I'm going through in my life right now, right? If I was, a little bit maybe older in like the next 10 years, I might be writing about something different that I'm experiencing and going through. But when you're 21 and you just went through like high school and university, dating and relationships are like a big part of that timeline. So, and also it's just fun.
And then you grow up and you're writing about your mortgage and your kids. And it's like, who wants to hear that?
Adulting. Exactly, right?
Who wants to hear that?
Yeah.
Can I ask you about Montreal? So we've established you're a Toronto girl from the beaches. And you did that one recording in Nashville, which is very cool. But you also record in Montreal. And I was reading you spend a lot of time in Montreal. So like, how well do you know Montreal and why do you know it so well?
I don't know much about like downtown, like Montreal or anything like that. But my family grew up in a very small town called Hudson. And it's absolutely beautiful, but it's super small. Everyone knows everyone.
How far is that from Montreal? Like is that a suburb of Montreal?
Like 40 minutes.
Okay.
An hour. Okay. It's not too far, but it's a very, very small town. It's, all my family and friends grew up there, and I used to spend my, like, any holiday, summers, I would live up there with my family, and it was great, and I loved it, and yeah.
And you have, you've recorded in Montreal, so where did you record in Montreal?
I recorded at Studio Piccolo in Montreal, which was super cool. Really cool little studio. And yeah.
Okay, very cool. So I'm going to shout out a couple more partners, and then I have more annoying questions before I set you free. But I want to shout out, and this is for everybody who's looking for dynamic and creative work environments. So you're a musician, Hayden. You don't have to worry about the office life and people in their return to... Do yourself a favor. Never maybe have one. I should be careful what I say here. But if you have a job that says you got to be in this office 4 or 5 days a week, run in the other direction. Run away. Okay. That's my life advice for you. Okay. So Blue Sky Agency. Blue Sky Agency is Doug Mills, and he's eager to chat with any and all Toronto Mike listeners who are looking for dynamic and creative work environments. So you can write Doug. He's Doug at blueskyagency.ca. Write him today and let him know you're an FOTM, and he'll help you out. He's got great advice. He's a good guy. You can find out that assembling a Cylon, I always say that name wrong, assembling a Cylon pod takes less effort than finding the last free meeting room on a Monday morning. So that's for all you cubicle heads out there. I have a measuring tape for you. You're a lucky woman. It's not just lasagna and beer on this program.
Oh my gosh, Hayden. I'm getting spoiled.
You're getting a measuring tape, and that is courtesy of Ridley Funeral Home. And Ridley Funeral Home are pillars of this community. And just yesterday, Brad Jones dropped by, and we recorded a fresh episode of Life's Undertaking, which is his excellent podcast. And you can listen to that conversation now.
Awesome.
Although there's a little Jays talk off the top. You might want to skip that here. Your dad, is he a big Jays fan?
Baseball isn't really like big in our family.
Is there a sport that is bigger in your family than baseball?
My dad, like hockey, football.
Oh yeah, so the Leafs played last night too. So Leafs beat the Canadians. Yeah. You're not conflicted when Toronto plays Montreal, are you?
Okay, anyone who's listening right now, like I'm about to really out myself, and I'm probably gonna get so much hate
fan.
for this. I am a Habs fan.
It's over. Bringing this down. I should have been tipped off.
But this is the thing, right? Like. Happy dad, especially when it comes to sports and families, happy dad, happy life, Is
your dad from Montreal?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, he's from Hudson?
Yes.
Okay, which is close enough that we're going to call it Montreal.
Yes.
Although it ticks me off, though, because I'll talk to somebody from Markham, for example, and they'll talk about being from Toronto, and I'm like, well, you're from Markham.
Well, exactly,
like, just say I'm from Hudson, but then you have to explain where the hell Hudson is.
I know. No one knows where Hudson is, but
no, not even people from Hudson.
Yeah, no, but we are Habs fans. Like, you know, I was the kid at Jersey Day in school when everyone comes in Leafs and you have the one red jersey, like stick out like a sore thumb.
But you come by it on. Actually, I'm fine with this because you come by it honestly. Like, if I now move to Montreal, I'm going to stay a Leafs fan because I'm from Toronto. Like, that's the way to go. What bothers me are the people born in Toronto with no roots in Montreal who root for the Habs just to be contrarian, like just to piss off Leafs fans.
No, it's not about pissing off Leafs fans. Like, no. I don't hate anyone who's a Leafs fan. I don't think it's a bad thing to be a Leafs fan. It's just more like that's how I grew up and that's how I stay.
In that studio in the Beaches in the basement, do you have a drawer full of like cables and stuff? Do you have a bunch of old, like some old electronics that simply you don't use anymore? They've either broken or they're obsolete? There's
some like broken wires.
Done, like, sold. Okay, because Hayden, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to recyclemyelectronics.ca and you're going to put in your postal code and find out where you can drop all that wireage. Is that a word? Wireage? Should be a word. And you're going to drop it off to be properly recycled so those chemicals don't end up in our landfill.
Honestly, that's a smart idea. I should do that.
One of my smartest. And last but not least, I shouted out Life's Undertaking from Ridley Funeral Home. I'd also like to shout out a couple of great podcasts from Nick Iones. That is, I almost called it Recycle My Electronics. It is called Building Toronto Skyline and Building Success. I'm fascinated by both, but Building Toronto Skyline, you hear about this industry, the condominium industry particularly, which is completely frozen. Like you're going to notice in this city projects that we've talked about for years, like, okay, there's a big condo thing going here, there's a big tower going there. They're all being paused or canceled because nobody's buying.
Well, yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive, and they're tiny little shoebox things, and they're highly priced, and people are just saying no more.
Well, right, because like, why? First of all, it's kind of claustrophobic, and two, like, things are expensive. It's hard enough to get a job, like these days. To be honest, a lot of friends and people that I know, they graduated with university degrees. They went to go get a job and they still can't find one. It's been like 2-3 years.
My son's going through this right now.
It's ridiculous, right? And I think it's unfair. And I think that, you know, a lot of people that I know as well are moving back in with their parents. I still live with my parents. I'm 21. You know, when I came back from Western, it was, okay, well, this is really your only option because you're not making a lot of money right now. And
it's expensive to live on your own.
Exactly, it is. And I think also I just wasn't ready, which is not something that you should be ashamed of, you know, even if you're like 21 or 25, sometimes you're not ready to live on your own and you don't have, you know, that ability to do so just yet because you're still learning how to like adult and everything. And, you know, it's just, it makes no sense why people who are like maybe 25 or older or younger are expected to be able to fully afford living on their own.
So let me ask you this. If, let's say, Sony Music or somebody comes up to you and says, here's $1 million advance. We think you're the next Taylor Swift. I'm just pulling this out of my ass. But do you move out on your own?
Absolutely not. That money will go to, like, you know, I will probably
I'm just wondering are you living at home purely for financial reasons because it's so expensive to live in the city?
A lot of it is financial, absolutely. But some of it as well is it's just easier, you know. I love my parents. I love my family. We have so much fun together and everything. And like I would say 90% is financial, absolutely. But a little part of it as well
10% is that you like them.
Yeah. You know, like I don't mind living. It could be worse. I'm only 21.
You're only 21. Loneliness. I gotta say, my 21-year-old couldn't wait to get out. Like, I think she would live under a bridge. I think rather than live at home. But my 23-year-old still lives at home because of the same reasons you're living at home.
Yeah, well, it's just easy. And honestly, like, yes, there's times where I'm like, oh my god, I want my own space, or like, you know, I would like to have a little bit more independence, but. My parents are super cool. They're super chill. They're like, you know what, you're 21. This is your life. You can do what you want.
Okay, so, we're going to drill it. So we've kind of set the table here. And at 21, thing about 21 is there's not a lot of experience under your belt in terms of being a musician. So it's all kind of coming together now. So just to recap and just to fill in some of the cracks here. So you clearly you're gifted in the realm of songwriting, in that you have written over 100 songs. You've been writing early and often since you were like 8-9 years. I have a 9-year-old daughter.
Oh yeah.
She loves music. I'll be honest, I haven't seen any songs coming out of her. Like, I'm going to have a long chat with her tonight. I'm going to say there's a woman who came over, Hayden Ryann, 2 N's in Ryan. I'm going to make sure I say that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, she's putting you to shame. Like, I'm going to have a stern conversation with Morgan when she gets home today.
No, because then she's not going to like me. She's like, who is this girl?
Oh, I'm kidding. I'm impressed when she could tie her shoes. Like, I'm like, oh, God, you can tie your shoes? That's amazing. Okay. So, Hayden, so 8 and 9, you're writing songs. At some point, your parents finally wise up and say, oh, this girl needs guitar lessons or something.
Yes. Well, we were actually told that because when I kind of had like a little bit of a manager and everything when I was like 13 and whatever, they were like very much on, you need to learn an instrument, because if you ever want to go into music and continue to write music or perform or anything, it's just something that you need to know.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And you did. You learned guitar. But how come you're not playing your own guitar on Mindless Words?
It's more of just like a comfort thing, to be honest. Like sometimes I have trust in myself, but I wanted it to sound as perfect as possible. And we didn't have a lot of time when it came to recording this. So it was very much like, okay, how can we shortcut certain things?
So how do you, Hayden, make the jump from, it's COVID times. I remember what that was like. It's COVID times. I'm in my basement. I'm recording stuff in the home studio. I've got a bunch of songs under my belt. How do you go from there to, I just released my second single, which has a cool video you can watch on YouTube right now. And I have an album coming out.
I can't believe it, to be honest. I could not be happier and I could not be more grateful. Like, it's really, really cool. I never thought, because some of these songs I've had for like 8 years, like more than that, right?
Which is incredible for a 21-year-old.
So it's like and waiting all this time being like, oh, it's never going to be released, or I'm never going to release music and all this stuff. And then it happening, because it took so many years to get to that point. And then once we had like the day that it was going to come out, it went by so quick that I was like, I can't even believe this right now. Like, what? I have a song out? And now I have a second one, and now I'm working on an album. Like, it's crazy.
And what's it like the first time one of your songs is played on a radio station?
Oh, I bawled my eyes out. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was the coolest thing.
Was it Mindless Words?
It was Mindless Words. Yeah. Mindless Words has been played. It's gone actually quite a lot of radio traction, like throughout Canada and stuff like that. And I could not be more grateful and happy about it.
Is there a Toronto station that would play Hayden Ryann?
I don't think so. We had a few in like Halifax and just like other like little areas, and we've had some like university radio stations. And
I know you got airplay in Australia.
I did. Which is
I've been scoping out your Instagram page.
Yeah.
So.
No, when I saw that, I was like, shut up. I was like, no.
But they love country music in Australia.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, I texted my manager right now, and I was like, the second I saw that, I was like, so when can we go to Australia? Like, can we please do something in Australia? And he was like, it's been like played once on the radio, like relax. And I was like,
did he say
so
slow
cool.
your roll?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm very much like, I love working. I'm a workaholic. I'm very much like, the second I see something happening, I'm like, jump on it and like, let's go, come on. And he was just like, relax.
Cool. And what about playing live? Like, where and when could somebody, see you perform live?
Well, I just did a show last Friday at the Painted Lady downtown, which was awesome. We sold out and everything, which was so cool. And then I will be playing next Friday at this Cranberry Festival thing.
I feel like somebody else I talked to recently is playing at a Cranberry Festival.
It's very possible.
Yeah, I wish I could remember. I wish I had the wherewithal to remember who the heck it was. Somebody was just here playing at a Cranberry Festival.
Oh, well, it's, it's a small community, right?
Where is it? Where is it again?
You know what? I'm going to have Bala.
Okay, so my goodness, I'm going to, after this recording, I'll look it up and realize who it was, and I will be very disappointed in myself that I couldn't come up with a name in real time, but I do, in my defense, I record a lot, okay?
Yeah.
And you're not my first Hayden even, okay? Shout out to Hayden Desser, but, he's a lot He's older.
I'm the
than-
first girl Hayden, though, right?
You're the first woman Hayden to be in the basement,
Fantastic.
without a doubt. So now, on our way out here, what's next? Like, obviously, you're eager, you're passionate, you show great initiative. So, remind me again, what date does this album drop? I know you told me.
It's gonna be like spring 2026.
Okay, so you didn't give me a date. So
yeah, we don't have a date yet.
Okay, so spring 2026. How many songs on the new album?
There's gonna be 8.
8 songs. And what's the name of the new album?
That is to be determined.
Okay, you know what's funny? If you just named it To Be Determined. Like that should just be the freaking name. Okay. So in the spring 2026, you'll have an album out. And are you going to be dropping singles along the way, like breadcrumbs sort of?
Yes, absolutely. We have maybe, I think, one more song that we're going to be dropping just before the album comes out.
What's the name of that song?
That one's going to be called Cowboy.
See, if we had our shit together, Hayden, you would have sent me that song and we would debut it right now.
Oh.
Okay, someone's going to get fired. Actually, on that note, do you mind if I ask you about, I'm always interested how the sausage gets made, okay?
Absolutely.
How does the great Eric Alper, how does he play into your career and the promotion of this new music?
That's a great question. Well, funny enough, I met him 3 years ago at my first ever Junos. And
You've been to the Junos?
I have 3 years in a row, which was super cool. But I met him, I had a meeting with him, my first ever Junos. And I couldn't even tell you what our conversation was about, to be honest. I think he was just kind of telling me about what he does as a career, and it was just like a quick little introduction. And then
did he mention Andy Kim?
Honestly,
do you know this name at all? I feel like 21-year-olds won't know the name Andy Kim.
I don't think I couldn't remember, but
sugar bump. Okay. You're my kind.
Oh yeah, okay. But and then kind of like lost contact for like the past while, and then was kind of, I had a call with him a few days ago, and he was telling me about today and how it was going to go, and yeah.
Okay, because your dad drove you here.
My dad did.
But Eric confirmed with me via email that he would be joining you here.
But this is the thing. I wasn't told this like at all. And then I get a text like this morning.
I'm just as happy to see your dad as I am to see Eric Alper. But I thought it was kind of I was going to tell Eric a full circle moment, because I remember he drove Colin James here years ago. Eric Alper drove Colin James, who had a bunch of big hits in this country. And is a hell of a guitarist himself, by the way. Stevie Ray Vaughan was his mentor, and that name is that's a big name in guitar land. But your dad drove you, and that's fine. But I find it exciting that you're working with Eric Alper.
Oh, I think it's awesome. I think honestly, he's hilarious. He's super smart and he's super funny, and just getting to work with all these people is so cool.
Yeah. So what are you doing at the Junos exactly?
It's more just like setting up meetings and trying to, talk to other artists, look for collaborate and stuff like that, and just put yourself out there.
See, you're going for it. Like, this is I think your dad should be very proud, because at the young age of 21, you've already been to 3 Junos, making connections and networking and learning the game. I think that's everything.
Oh yeah, I'm the girl walking around with business cards being like, hi, like.
Okay, now that's a great point. You mentioned the business cards. So on our way out here, you mentioned this notebook I'm looking at now is not the notebook where you write your songs.
No, it's not.
Are they digital? Like, I'm just wondering, like, what if there's a fire?
I have like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even count probably how many songbooks I have from when I was like younger writing music, because I was trying to be like Taylor Swift and put it all into like little notebooks, and then it went onto my computer from there, and I started just. Because it was like,
because it should just be a Google document. Okay?
Exactly. Like I couldn't even, the amount of docs I have in my computer of just songs is insane. And I just also find it easier because I can just like voice memo it, put it into my computer. We're good. Right. It's set.
So then that begs the question, what is this notebook exactly?
This notebook is a random one that I found in my room.
But what do you use it for? Like you opened it up before the recording. Like, do you have answers to questions? Ooh. And then is there any question I should have asked you that you were ready to answer?
Well,
I'm interested in why you opened up the notebook before we started chatting.
Well, because when I spoke to Eric Alper a few days ago, he was like, these are going to be all the examples of questions that you're going to get asked.
Okay, we have 5 more minutes. What kind of questions did Eric Alper tell you might be asked on Toronto Mic?
He asked like funny things that happened, like that might have happened in the Bitching music video, or
Okay.
Like what influence bitching, which I already kind of spoke about, and then 3 things about like mindless words and just stuff like that.
Well, is there anything you want to like just maybe this is a free for all before I play the closing theme where you have an opportunity to share things you were kind of anticipating that this dumb host failed to bring up?
No. Well, okay. One thing I will share is for anyone who's listened to No Room for Bitching but hasn't seen the music video yet, my mom's friend that she's known since, they were little, her son was in the music video. And so it's kind of like a family friend who I've actually never met. And he's absolutely gorgeous. He's a great guy. Perfect for the role, for the music video. But one thing I will say is when you watch the video, there's not that much like romantic chemistry because we were so awkward because our moms are watching and giggling and trying to like make us hit on each other. Our like my dad's standing there like,
get dad out
why
of
are
there.
you touching my daughter kind of thing. And just like doing it, it was only my second music video. And this was my first music video that I actually did it with people.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, this is so awkward. So if you ever want to watch the music video, because I think it's super badass, and you want to see a cute guy and me kind of be super awkward, then I think you should watch it.
Okay. Now I'm still fascinated by this notebook on our way out here. We have a couple more minutes here. So can I see it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Absolutely.
So there's no private things in there? Okay.
Nah. And if there are, just don't read them out loud.
Because I don't want to waste the fact. Okay, so like I realize now, I didn't ask you what got you into music. Yeah. Tell us what got you into music in the first place.
Well, I've grown up around music my whole life. I was in sing, dance, and act from a very young age, except I can't act. And I was obsessed with Hannah Montana as a kid.
Hannah, my 21-year-old was also obsessed with Hannah
I'm
Montana.
still obsessed with her, but like I was Hannah Montana for like 5 years in a row for Halloween. Loved her music, and I wanted to be a pop star. And then I would watch like Carrie Underwood and all these artists like music videos for
I had a guy
hours.
on the show last week who co-wrote Jesus Take the Wheel.
Oh my god.
Fred Mullen. Shout out to him. Okay.
Jesus.
Hannah Montana's in your notes here. I'm glad you brought it up. Are there any fucked up things I should know about you?
What did I even write?
And
in my
Dad,
notes,
she
to be
wrote
honest?
fucked.
Like,
Okay, there's no star there. That's the fuck. You probably. If I get on your bad side, it says you'll write a song.
oh
about
my god,
me. Is that all I have to do?
No, it's like if you
I'll
do
do
something mean to me or bad, like I'm gonna write a song about you. I'm pretty open about that as a person.
Well, you write 100 songs a week apparently,
Yeah.
so you can totally. I would love you to wite a song about me. I would play it every episode.
I can do that.
I'm interested in this. It says I wanted to be an Olympian as a kid.
I did.
What sport?
Honestly, you name it. I was a swimmer growing up. When I was like,
Okay, because I should tell the listenership. I thought you were very tall.
yes. So I was a swimmer growing up. When I was like 10 years old, I was like third in Ontario. And then from there, I actually went to volleyball for 7 years competitively.
Because you're tall.
Yeah. And it was amazing. I loved it. When I was 18, we came 5th in Canada, which was super cool. But when I
That's
was
amazing.
a kid, I did every
Yeah, here
sport.
it is. 5th in Canada.
Yeah.
3rd Ontario beach crawl? No.
Back crawl.
Back crawl. Okay. My apologies. Your K's look like H's to me. Okay.
But no, like name a sport. And as a kid, I 100% did it. And my mom would tell me that I would cry in the car because I didn't know what sport I should do at the Olympics.
Always
Like I had some invitation already.
Decision
Yeah, like,
to
oh
me.
my God, tennis, volleyball, soccer, like all these things. And I was like, Jesus, that's just, never made it to the Olympics, which is fine. But sports were definitely my thing growing up.
Okay, and what was the first album you ever bought?
First album I ever bought was the Taylor Swift 1989 album.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said you were nervous heading into this podcast, your debut. I'm very honored that you made your debut here. Was it nerve-wracking? You seem very comfortable to me.
You know, it was nerve-wracking a little bit when I, at the start,
beginning?
but this has been awesome.
Because I was glaring at you.
Exactly. No, but this has been awesome. I had a lot of fun.
And there's nothing in this notebook you're going to regret not saying if we start...
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, if anyone is interested in learning a little bit more about me, you can always send me a text or something and I'd be happy to share.
Okay, I feel like there's songs in this notebook too. Like I feel like some of this, I see like you're just a creative person who likes to express themselves with words, and these could be songs or poems or just random thoughts.
Yeah. You never know.
Hayden, I love this very much. Have you decided if you're just going to come by on the 29th of November to say happy holidays to everybody, or are you going to sing a little something? Have you made a decision yet?
I'd love to sing a little something
Oh
and
my
wish everyone a happy holiday.
Okay, and would you do acoustic guitar while you sing this something?
Yeah, absolutely. Easy.
Okay, noon, Palma's Kitchen, November 29th.
Awesome.
Talk about flirting with Taz?
That's the boy in the music video.
Okay, that's the guy. Okay. I got to stop reading this because I got to wrap up this show. But, okay, there was a lot of wind, too.
Oh, yes, it's very windy. You can see my hair flying everywhere.
Everyone, go to YouTube and watch the video for No Room for Bitchin'. It's okay when Hayden Ryann says bitching, but maybe, according to Terry Hart, and it's food for thought, maybe the Jays don't have to talk about motherfuckers and bitches, which is, according to Terry Hart, and I think she's right, that is misogynist language. Maybe that's not okay. But go Jays go. I'm just going to say go Leafs go. We beat your Habs last night. And thanks for dropping by. We're going to take a photo by the tree, and I'm going to get you some lasagna, and you got your beer, and I'll see you on November 29.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,777th show. Do you care about numerology at all?
To be honest, I don't know what that word means.
Okay, well, that means you don't care about it. But you have 3 sevens in this number, which I don't actually believe in numerology, but some people think 7 is a lucky number, and you got the number 1777.
Oh, well, I'll take that.
You're going to win a Juno one day.
I hope
I have it recorded. I don't know when.
Hopefully soon.
You're going to win a Juno because of these 7s.
Hey, I will thank you in my acceptance speech.
Go to Toronto Mike. You better do that.
I will.
Because I recorded this. Go to torontomike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. Much love to all who made this possible. That's patrons like you. Go to patreon.com/Toronto Mike. Become a member today. Great Lakes Brewery. Hayden's got her fresh craft beer. Palma Pasta. There's some lasagna the whole family can eat. Nick Ienes. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Blue Sky Agency. And Ridley Funeral Home. See you all. Got to go to my calendar for this. My goodness, I'm not prepared at all. Oh, I have a special episode tomorrow. This is very interesting. His name is Steve Teakins, and he's been working with the marginalized and homeless sector in Toronto since 1995. We're going to have some real talk about this often overlooked sector of our city. So join me for Steve Teakins tomorrow. See you then.